that participate in the Tour de Crypto. And so those communities can donate directly to Hawk. 100% of the donations go directly to the Houston Area Women's Center. And we have sponsors that are helping us cover expenses, because when this first started, I mean, this guy was putting everything on his credit card, right? I mean, it was just, we're going to do this. We understand the market's terrible, but we need to make a difference and we need to take action, so we're just going to do it. And we took a let's build it and they will come attitude, and now we're sitting here today, 3 months later, with World CryptoCon donating 5% of their ticket sales to our charity and to Hawk. We've got Ronnie Moaz, who was our first main sponsor. He personally came out of pocket to the tune of $30,000 to help us with expenses. So we've got a huge social media following, and now we've been asked to go to China, Canada, Europe, and Puerto Rico next year. So the plan is to grow this into a nationwide event and to actually bring more charities on board, and also try to do individual state-based events where we have rides around states for a particular state-based charity. But you know, these guys are superstars. They're doing all the hard work. I just sit in my office and kind of manage everything and deal with the charity aspect end of it. But it's just been an incredible journey so far. And
it's the Forrest Gump approach.
yeah, the Forrest Gump approach.
So we got these hats.
Yeah. But you can see my...
You're also getting the beard.
Yeah, that's right.
Burley has lifestyle.
Yeah. But why don't you tell them what happened in Texas?
Yeah, so I mean, we made it to our halfway point. I mean, right now in Vegas, this is still part of the tour. This is part of the documentary, right? Like, here in this very moment, you guys are part of this documentary. Jovel had ridden his bike to where we are right now. Unfortunately, I had to take a flight from Houston to here with Blake because the weather conditions in Texas a couple of weeks ago was really bad. There was a cold front that came through, and there's a whole bunch of storms which led to flooding. And we got to a cusp of a hill, and the bridge in front of us was flooded by like 2 to 3 feet high, and we were going 25, 30 miles per hour. I mean, it was a freak accident. There's nothing that we could have done to prevent this from happening. I just had to do it straight. I mean, all brakes were on, my tire, my whole bike was whiplashing, and I just went face first into a whole bunch of boulders, basically. And Jovel, he was able to see me, basically go Superman style.
Down, but I was sitting bad for him because I couldn't get out, because in the moment that I fell, I couldn't feel my legs for like 5 minutes. And I told Joseph to not touch me because I can't feel my legs. I got so scared for a minute because
You thought you were paralyzed.
Yeah, so it took me like 5 minutes to get my legs back.
You gotta keep in mind, this is in the middle of nowhere. We don't have cell phone reception, we have nothing. I mean, all we have is our driver, Joshua, and we had some radios.
Yeah.
And thankfully, there was somebody local that was driving by. He's like, what the hell? Like, I can't believe this just happened.
He went to get
We had to get an ambulance, we had to drive out. They wanted to actually evacuate me out, and we just said, you know, like, I'm good. Like, let's just take me to the hospital, though, as fast as we could. So the prognosis on this is my heel is fractured in 4 places. So think of like the bottom of your foot and your heel just like moving like a few millimeters down. And my knuckle is basically like obliterated, it's gone. So this is, I mean, this is a lifelong injury.
Yeah, and it was really weird event for me because I was in Houston, and at 5 p.m. I get a very short message that they've been in a bad accident. And so I'm like, what's going on? So I then tried to find out everything I can, but I get nothing. No cell phone, nothing, no service. And it wasn't until 9 o'clock that I finally heard from him, and it's the hospital here can't help him. He's being rushed to San Antonio. And then that was all I got. So I had no idea what kind of condition he was in or what was going on. So I jumped in my car from Houston as soon as I could. I was actually at an event. And I raced as fast as I could. I hadn't eaten. I get to the hospital. It's 1 a.m.
This is the good part, too.
I rushed into the room right as they're trying to reset his finger, right? So he's like on the bed, writhing in pain. His legs are shaking. He's trembling against so much pain. And I just sit there and I'm like looking, and I'm like, I feel weird. I need to sit down. And boom, right on the floor. The next thing I know, he's waking me up off the floor, and I'm in the bed next to him. So it's been a crazy journey. But as he mentioned, we're putting together a documentary of the whole tour. And so we're going to use the documentary to go to charities to say, hey, look, this is what we were able to do. You really need to understand and begin accepting crypto donations. But you'd be surprised at the number of charities that initially were like, nah, we don't want to get involved because of the perception of crypto that they have based on mainstream media, or they just didn't want to get involved and take the time to learn. So we're hoping that with this documentary, we can just give them a DVD or a thumb drive and say, here, watch this. This is how we made it work.
And then you also hurt your arm, right?
Yes.
And how is that?
My shoulder, thanks God I find this lady, I forgot his name. We got a medicine, I forgot the name of the medicine, she gave it to me. And I've been feeling better like from Wednesday to today, so I hope I'm good by Sunday because I gotta get to LA.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this stuff is scary. I mean, you guys gotta think about, like, we're literally on the highway at parts of the country we've never been through. And we have just huge trucks that are just constantly blowing past us, going 80, 90 miles
it's
per hour.
called the I-40, like from New Mexico to here, like it's just trucks all day, and there's trucks like passing by like at 95 miles an hour, and there's no shoulder to ride the back, so you go like almost next to the truck, and all the time they're like pushing me out. And I see people laughing like when they see me.
Yeah, they do it on
almost
purpose.
And I got some people throwing me water.
People are throwing stuff to hit him as he's riding the bike.
Yeah.
They're throwing like water bottles and like garbage at him.
It's crazy, but thank God that we're here.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I'm trying to make it to California.
I want to open this up for
Yeah,
questions.
we're always talking. I want to see what kind of
so
questions you guys got.
anybody who has questions,
How much
please
longer is
ask
the
them.
tour?
We've got another 3 to 4 days.
Yeah,
We have to get to Huntington Beach.
335 miles.
Not that he's counting or anything.
How you gonna do with the arm?
This is gonna be a month. This is gonna be 3 months to heal.
Yeah.
He's not riding no more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He just gets to see
I
that.
tried to get Joe to pull him in the wheelchair,
Right.
and they didn't want to do
Yeah,
that.
great job.
What cryptocurrencies do you guys accept for donations?
I'm sure we have the big three: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and then we have what we call community coins. So we have 12 total. Electra was our very first sponsor, and they're actually the biggest donation so far.
That's impressive.
Yes, I mean, we got from the electric community, we've got donations from Australia, Europe, the Philippines, Netherlands. It's been crazy. But Electra, Patcoin, Redcoin, Horizon, Digibyte. Yeah, I mentioned Litecoin, Ethereum. Who else?
Think about it.
Four.
Okay.
Four.
Not the brochure.
Yeah, so we.
How's Digibyte been treating that?
Their community, I mean, we met Laura, so Laura is a huge part of like the Digibyte awareness part community. She's got us Airbnb, she got,
She cooked for us.
she even cooked for us.
Yeah.
She got us massages, like she hired a company, he has athletic massages. I don't know, has anybody here had an athletic massage? I mean, we're riding our bikes 100 miles a day, and now all of a sudden these masseuses, they came in, and they like grabbed our muscles so bad, like we were screaming in pain. That was horrible. I think it's bad. Like, we're supposed to enjoy this. They're like ripping our arms off our legs. We're like, oh my god.
Yeah, but Laura also, what we did for the coins, we couldn't open it up obviously to all coins, because then I would be setting up thousands of wallets at all, because people wanted free publicity basically. So we told anybody who wanted to participate, you had to donate $1,000 in a major coin or your coin to Hawk. And once you did that, we would then set your wallet up, you would become part of the tour, we would promote you along the way. And Laura personally came up to me and said, well look, I'm just going to donate $1,000 out of my own pocket because I want Digibyte to participate. She's like, so get them on board, then I'll start working with the community. So that was really cool of her. She's really stepped up big time and helped us out. Yeah.
Questions, come on guys. We're always talking, it'd be cool to actually have some questions.
What are the next steps?
The next stops?
Steps.
Oh, steps.
Recovery for him.
Yeah.
We've been asked to do a ride pretty early next year in Puerto Rico. We're going to Washington, I guess the real next step, after they finish, we have a finale party in Huntington Beach, November 12th at Sharky's. Then we're gonna be at Washington Elite. Bruce Porter Jr. is a sponsor of ours. He's hosting Washington Elite AI and Blockchain Conference in DC, the 30th of November and December 1st, so we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna regroup. We've met some amazing people here at the conference that wanna help and participate, become sponsors to help us fund this. Just last week, Marco Robinson from Naked Technologies, who's a huge philanthropist, gave us $100,000 worth of his token, and he wants to blow this thing up worldwide. I mean, he's super excited about it. Yeah, he wants to ride with it. He used to be a champion cyclist, and he says, we're gonna do the Tour de France route. And I'm like, ooh. I was ready for that.
It's gonna be our second time riding the bikes.
Yeah. So that's kind of the plans. We really need, I'm a lawyer, and so I spend a lot of time doing that. But we really I need to put together a good core team and plan it out.
This whole thing literally took like a couple of weeks to get going.
Yeah, it was just get on the bikes, go rent an RV, and we'll figure it out as we go.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to actually having some time to plan.
The next project.
What type of obstacles do you think that you need to overcome to get the charities, like you were saying that you were having a difficulty with charities getting on board? So I'm asking, what do you perceive as the obstacles that you need to overcome to bring those people on board? I mean, the coins, they're already on, they're gonna be on board, but we gotta bring the people in, bring the charities that bring the people in, so.
Well, I think first it was also just because, we just said, here's 3 guys, the team saying we want to help raise you money. We didn't really establish a reputation, we were just saying, this is what we would like to do for you. So I think a lot of them were like, okay.
They didn't believe us.
Yeah, that was like at the very start. So now for us, I think our main challenge is really just, it's the educational part. Telling them, okay, here's our documentary, which is now a case study, which is what it will become. We could say, this is how much we've raised or in donations for Hawk, and here's what we'd like to do for you. And then sitting them down and again explaining how the process works with downloading wallets, how to reach out to the various crypto communities that are out there, and really, again, educating them as to how it works. That's really the big challenge.
And then the problem is with the charities, they have limited budgets, obviously, and they don't have a person that would be dedicated to crypto. So you have to deal with their CFO and their finance team who's already swamped with what they have to do because they're probably understaffed as a charity. So getting their attention and getting them to give us time to teach them and educate them is hard. Fortunately, Hawk has given me the opportunity to do so. So I'm at their facilities at least once a week. I talk to them several times a week. But I think that's going to be the biggest obstacle. And that's why I tell them, I'm like, that's what I'm here for. Use me. Let me do it. Let me teach you. I will come to your office as much as I possibly can. But convincing them of that is one thing. Showing them is a complete different thing. So I think once we have the documentary done, and we can show them, this guy right here, superstar filmer, he really has done an amazing job with the journey, filming the whole thing. And so I'm really going to be able to go to the charities and say, here, look, this is what we did and this is how we did it. And we want to do that for you if you want to learn how to accept it and use cryptocurrency.
Sorry, go ahead. I was just asking when the documentary comes out. Like, when will it be released? So we
What do you
can
think?
watch it.
How long is that going to take?
I had close to 24 hours of footage.
I believe it.
That will be a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of editing.
All right, so
Just
TBD, I guess.
Well, just to add on to that too, again, we keep talking about like regulations, ETFs, all these different compliances that are coming into play. I think that's also kind of still holding some charities back. Again, think about institutional funding. Nonprofits are institutions.
Yeah.
They have access to a lot of money. And I think, again, they are probably still waiting for some compliance issues to really possibly start taking in like major donations. So for like tax write-offs, the whole process of doing that kind of stuff.
It sounds like to me, for people.
But that's what we're here to
People
try
that
and
may be
start
in
this.
this room, other people that's hearing, sounds like that's another business model that needs to be placed in this
Definitely.
space.
Yeah.
I can actually ask
For
that real
people
quick.
that could be dedicated to doing the back end work for those charities so that they can continue doing the things that they've traditionally done until they're up to speed.
You're right.
So whoever's listening, that's a business model.
That's sort of what I'm
That's
getting.
what you're doing. and
Yeah,
so,
that's what I'm
yeah.
doing, and so I'm gonna continue to grow that, and, yeah, hopefully, I'm actually starting, the Houston Blockchain Alliance with another gentleman in Houston, and that's gonna be part of our program, is to, have a team that can talk to different charities and educate charities, at least in the Houston area where I am, and then we'll kind of expand from there after we get it started, yeah.
Wonderful. So, do we have any more questions? If not, then
I have a lighthearted question for you
Okay,
guys,
well,
since I
we'll
followed you guys on Twitter,
we'll take 2 more questions and then we'll wrap it up.
and since I'm originally from Atlanta, what did you guys think of Chick-fil-A?
That's good. But by the way, Atlanta, you guys are really growing fast with blockchain tech. That was one of our best meetups in Atlanta. There was like over 100 people at that event.
Did you go to the
Yeah.
Bitcoin embassy?
Yeah, that was really good.
Jeffrey Tepes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, it was nice.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, she has a question.
Okay.
So I'm a philanthropist myself, and I deal with women and youth. And I was just talking outside, and I didn't get the gist, the strength of why you are here. Can you explain why you are here doing this podcast from you? Because I think,
Oh, for me.
yeah, and
Oh.
about the women's work that you guys are doing and youth, and that's where the money is going for charity. So speak about that.
Yes, so I've been with this team since the beginning. I mean, I interviewed Jason, and for me, Cardiff and I, we noticed, well, Las Vegas is a huge hub for like human trafficking. And for me, this kind of hit kind of close to home because it was to raise money for like domestic and sexual violence. So I really connected with the team, and I think it's beautiful what they're doing, and it's just, they're doing something so positive for the space and just raising all this money to just help all these people. And I think that's what's needed more in the space is you just need to help people, and they'll just come into the community and see, well, cryptocurrency is more than just a currency. It's something that
Gives
just,
back
yes, it gives back,
and includes everyone.
yes, it's a beautiful thing, and that's why I brought them on, and I've just been following them for a while, and I'm a huge supporter because they've been through so much. The journey has been incredible, and
It's
yes,
still continuing.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Finish this. We gotta finish this. Finish this, make it end well. That's it.
But you asked a good question. He came up with this phrase originally. He said, "Mass adoption through good intentions." And I was
like
like,
that.
I love that. That is exactly what we're doing. We're going to show the world that crypto is awesome, and the people in it are awesome, and they're very giving. And we have to do this so we can change the narrative about crypto in the mainstream media.
Thank you guys, that was so awesome. You really explained it to me. No,